Hello, everyone. I am Teresa McCalman, and we are doing a little special Zoom interview today with Betsy Sandberg. We are just interviewing many people in the community to ask them how they are helping the community during this pandemic. So we had a few technical snags, and we finally made the decision to actually just have Betsy on the phone, ask her questions, and then you'll hear her on the phone responding to those questions. So, hey, Betsy, how you doing?
Great, thrilled to be here.
Great, thank you. And thanks for your patience in trying to get all of these things up and running. Zoom was really being very difficult. All right,
Yeah.
So I'm going to start. First, just tell us who you are and what part of the district that you live in, and what you do. What were you doing before this pandemic? Like, what was your role or your job or your employment or something like that?
I'm Betsy Sandberg. I chair Kids Arts Festival, which is every year the first Saturday in June. It's a full day for us. It's 4+ hours of programming for kids and their families, and then we also are involved with other events in Schenectady County because everybody just loves our signature events. And that's what I was heavily doing. I was heavily involved. We work very hard, Kids Arts Festival, to make sure that everything is free other than food. So nobody has to reach into their pocket for any of our high quality art, but that means we have to raise a lot of funds. And so that's what I was hard at work doing when we started hearing about things possibly closing down.
Okay. Hold on a second.
Your kids have come to Kids Arts Festival.
Yes, and participated fully.
Yes.
Yes. Surprisingly, I didn't think they were still at that age where they were interested in like doing the contest, the artist contest and everything like that. I didn't think that they would do it. And they were like, no, I want to draw. And I was like, okay, teenagers.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I think at that time, Zelia was 12. So
wow.
Preteen, and Kenny was 15. So yeah. So they really enjoyed that. They're both artists. Well, all of my children are artists. So, but I thought they were like too old to like sit there and draw. But I was wrong.
You're never too old. You're never too old.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask you now a couple of questions. All right, here we go. So I know you have been instrumental in a couple of community art projects during the quarantine of the past few months. Can you give us details about your collaboration with local nursing facilities? Are people still able to participate? And how can they find where to send their letters and artwork? And I'll repeat any questions if I'm going too fast. So first we'll start with, can you give us the details?
So my collaboration with the local nursing facilities and also senior centers, people like senior living centers was, and people can participate. What we did was we actually have 15 nursing homes or senior centers in our county, and I got to work calling all of them to see if they wanted to receive artwork and messages and things from kids. The reason we got this idea was from an earlier project where we ran a full-page ad in the Schenectady Gazette asking people what is their idea to make Schenectady awesome.
Yeah.
And it was, I think that, something we can do together. And we didn't know what we were going to get. And surprise, well, we got some things, but I was really surprised by several of the ideas. Was, well, one thing that we can do is help out people who can't get visitors anymore.
Yeah.
And as much as I didn't really want to do that, because I was kind of like the logistical, all it took was the very first call. I'm glad I'm not on video now, because I still get emotional when I tell the story.
Oh.
My very first call was to Baptist Health
Okay.
in Scotia, because alphabetically they were first. And when I called Baptist Health to say, very first call, would you want to get kids artwork? I mean, I don't know that the kids aren't going to know who they're writing to, who they're drawing a picture for. The woman on the phone started to cry. And she told me this amazing story about how the people in the facility, they're in lockdown, no one can come visit. And for so many of the people, they were so sad, because they were so used to their schedule. You know, the Girl Scouts come on Monday, the high school kids come on Tuesday, the Boy Scouts come, this group that dances, all of these people come, and they have all these activities based around people coming to visit.
That's right.
And no one could come visit. And they all were feeling so forgotten. And she said, we were like wondering, what the heck can we do to ask people to like write us letters? And I said, well, so I then adopted it wholeheartly, and I have a planning committee of over a dozen people, and we called all the facilities. A number of the facilities never would call us back, and also when you call them, like, I don't want to point a finger here, but you can't leave a message, and I don't know if it's like that when there's not a pandemic, so
Okay.
I didn't want to make a big deal, but I did not want to have people write when I didn't make a contact with them.
Yes.
And talk with them about what we were doing. So we ran an ad several times to make sure, and it's up on our Facebook page, which our Facebook is Schenectady Kids Arts Festival.
And we'll have
and
that.
Still,
we'll have that linked.
It's still going on now. People can still participate.
Oh, you're answering one of my questions already.
Oh, well, yeah. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Great minds think alike. But it's going to go on for as long as no one can come visit at any time. And if you want, and here's the thing, the reason I have all this wonderful kids art festival artwork, because when we do our poster contests, some of the poster contest entries, they don't win, but they're so beautiful.
Yes.
And I sent in some pictures. They're just so wonderful. And I didn't even send all of them because I was going to share some with the screen. So now, and I've always held on to them thinking, oh, we're going to use these in the future. And I thought, what better time than now? You know, so a lot, you know, every week I drop off some new things. And I pick of the 11 nursing homes that not just nursing homes, also senior living facilities. They're not necessarily nursing homes.
That's right.
I just drop off. I pick 2 or 3 a different week, and I'm getting to the end of the barrel now because it's been 3 weeks that I drop off. I also write out my own cards. My neighbors love the idea, and they write out cards, and I just drop them off instead of mailing them. And I've talked with all the administrators at these places, and they know if it doesn't come through the mail, they let it sit in a room for 72 hours. It's, you know, we don't want any germs to get in, but, you know, they're more conscious than anybody of not letting germs in. So,
and that was a question I had, but pause on the not letting germs in thing. And you did answer, I did ask the question already, are people still able to participate? And you answered that. I didn't think I said it yet. But so yeah. So I know you're saying you come to the bottom of the barrel for the students, the youth, the young people who are sending in their artwork, but how can other people find where to send their letters and artwork? Is it only on your Facebook?
We have a website.
Okay.
You type in kidsartfestivalschenectady.com.
Okay.
And it should come up there. The most recent post, I did a Zoom photo of the group when we met this week, but it's there. Help our community through art, send a cheerful message, and then match. Why we said you don't have to follow it, but we wanted to make sure people realize, what if everybody sends to Glendale, or what if everybody sends to Kingswood?
Yeah.
So we just kind of tried to come up with a way so that people would realize, this is how many want to receive cards and letters from people.
Yeah, so you had a list of the local nursing facilities and senior residences, and then you matched up people. You had people match themselves up through their last name, so it's like A through E and so on and so forth. And then so people, like you said, all of them may go to Glendale, and you're like, what about the rest of the nursing facilities or senior living facilities? So so I thought that was awesome. I had seen that, and I said, we have to talk to Betsy. And then one of my team members, they were like, she said she knows you. And I said, really? So I had to look at your name, and then I was like, oh my gosh, yes. I said, yes. And I said, of course, Betsy's doing this.
And your daughters are so talented.
Thank you.
All of your kids are, but I know the two.
Yes.
So
so that, and I just want to make that clear that, and so if they're matching their last names up, what if they wanted to specifically donate their art to a different senior living than their last name? Are they able to do that? Is that a choice? Or do you
absolutely. Absolutely. This was, that was a couple of, on Facebook, people would send direct messages and ask, and I was like, this was just our plan. No, if you know somebody at the Heritage Home for Women, write to them. Or if you live right next door, you can just drop it off. Or if you're by the Sunnyview Rehab Center.
So, you briefly mentioned this, but how did this shift from just the Kids Art Festival to this plan? Let's send to the senior facilities and senior living.
Because it was a need in the community to address right now.
Good.
And we've got all these kids at home.
Right.
And we've got parents, like I see it all, and all my friends, they're like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do with them now? So it was just an effort to help the community through art.
And I think also it's a great way to get young people to realize that there's so many other ways they can contribute to their community, especially to the elders and seniors in the community. Definitely, and I love this idea. What kind? How large has the response been? Or what kind of response have you gotten so far? Has it been huge, medium, more than you thought, less than you thought?
Well, I would love to have figures and facts for you.
Mm-hmm.
I have reached out to a number of the different facilities just to ask them, hey, would you mind sending me a photo of one of your residents with their artwork? And I don't know if they're too busy. I don't know if it's a HIPAA thing, health privacy.
Yep.
But I haven't gotten, and again, I don't want to point fingers. Because if I tell you, I have heard from 3 of the 11 facilities that in addition to what I've dropped off, they have received some cards.
Okay.
But I don't know if that means the other facilities aren't getting anything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if maybe I should switch up the alphabet. But, in the meantime, I've got other things that I got to get doing too. So,
one more question, and we're going to get to that too. A couple more questions. So why do you feel art is so important in the community and building the community?
Well, so creating art together the way that we do it at Kids Arts Festival in a public space encourages diverse groups to work together, to share ideas, and work together to solve problems. That is my highfalutin answer. But to see it in action, all you have to do is come to Kids Art Festival, even if you don't participate.
Mm-hmm.
You walk around and you see, we have this fence art project every year, ever since the devastating fire in 2015 or 14.
And I've seen it. I've seen it next to my favorite, one of my favorite Thai restaurants, Pho Queen. Yes.
Yes. So the J Street, now it's an empty lot, and with a big ugly fence. And so we decorate that fence all the time. And it's just wonderful. People who would never get together, you see them working together. And, hey, I need a scissors. And the kids who don't know each other, and maybe years from now, they'll see each other on the soccer field. They'll be on different teams. Who knows? But,
yes.
And the other thing we have, first of all, we have more than 50 participating agencies at Kids Art Festival, and they're diverse too. One of them is the University of Albany Confucius Institute. It's a nonprofit organization that is dedicated to fostering the study of the Chinese language, culture, and economy. And it's so important, and I was so wanting to make sure this year that they participate with us often, but in this current political climate, for children to meet and learn more about China and the Chinese culture versus what's reported in the latest news,
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's so important, and we see that happen. And I was going to share with you some pictures from the years with that. Why do I think art is important? It connects us. It's therapeutic. It's impactful. I
Yes.
think about, why are people turning to music? How are people getting through this pandemic?
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to connect through art. That's what this rainbow hunt. I think that with kids drawing rainbows, and it connects people, that's, I don't see people doing that any other way other than cursing at certain people on the TV.
Oh, it's so true, right? So
Yeah.
we already spoke about the impact that it's having on the people in the nursing nursing facilities and nursing homes. And it's hard to actually get how they're feeling because of certain restrictions, and that's understandable. But are you hearing from the artists, the ones who are making this art, and how has anyone said that how they felt when they made it or anything like that?
Well, so I just, on the Kids Art Festival Facebook page, there is a video of an artist named Emery, and she is painting on a door that is to be donated to the county workers working the call center, making sure that all of our county residents, those in quarantine and those at high risk, are getting emergency supplies and rations
Mm-hmm.
Monday through Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's one that ironically or coincidentally, that that's one artist. The artists I know, yes, my Kids Art Festival planning committee is filled with artists, and in talking with them, and I know a couple of poets too, that's how they're getting through. I mean, these are some dark times. These are depressing. But the glimmers of hope and the wonderful things that happen, the kindness that people are showing to each other, is being celebrated by art.
Yes. I can't tell you how many, because you spoke briefly about music, how many washing hand videos.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, the last one I shared was a hip hop with all of the OG hip hop and some newer ones too, but people from like the 80s, Dougie Fresh, you know, I was Run DMC and I was just like, wow. Well, I should say Reverend Run and DMC. It was just awesome. I was just like, it was so nostalgic for me, and I still have the song in my head, but I shared it with as many people as I could. But that and other artists just sharing, like doing Disney characters in quarantine and things like that. But I think the ones that really get me chuckling, and I always go, can I use this to wash my hands too? And then I go, no, it's too long, but it's still good. But you know, just those washing hand videos, I love them, and I'm so happy to know so many artists and to be connected to so many people who really appreciate that, and including you, of course, Betsy.
Yes, and the musical parody. If you have so not seen the Coronian Rhapsody, based on Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody, type it into Google.
Oh, I have to see that.
Hilarious.
Oh my gosh, I have to watch that. Yes, definitely. And just a couple of things, and then we'll finish it out, and I'll let you just, you know, talk about anything that we didn't cover. The website has info for donations as well, right, to the event for the Kids Arts Festival here in Schenectady?
Yes.
Okay, all right, just making sure. And people can get involved by going to the website, Kids Arts Festival, Schenectady. Is it at Schenectady.com or Schenectady.com?
Okay, so our Facebook page is, if you have to type in Schenectady, if you don't have it already liked us, our Facebook page is Schenectady Kids Arts Festival. That's the Facebook, but on the website, it's Kids Arts Festival Schenectady.com. Got it.
Okay.
That's the website.
All right.
So we're still working. We're working out some kinks about what to do with this year's festival. We have not canceled.
Great. Ooh.
We are considering postponing, but when we polled all of our participants, we got some excellent suggestions about different ways we can be together, even if we're not in the same room or the same street. I can't really update folks the exact things yet because we have to see if we have all the technical aspects in place, which is a perfect thing about with this today. We have to make sure the technical aspects work, and because and that's working with Proctor's. In a way, it's great that Proctor's is empty, and Proctor's most likely will be empty June 6th. So we can be socially distant because I can have one group in the G Theater, and I can have one group in the Addy, and one group on the main stage. People will not be able to be there, but we'll stream it. But again, I shouldn't even have given you that much detail because we don't know if we can do it yet.
Yeah. It's just an idea. It's just an idea. It's one of the things you guys were throwing around of possibilities. Yeah. Well,
and we will update our website and our Facebook once we have all the details, and once we have our program like we normally do. We'll give that update, or maybe you and I will do another interview. But that's the plan with that.
Great. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy that we finally got to do this interview. It's been.
Oh, I didn't tell you. I live in Niskayuna.
Okay.
A lot of people think I live in Schenectady because I did live in Schenectady for 20 years.
Wow.
But I moved to the town of Niskayuna, just right by the Eddy, I'm right there off, I'm in that area. So
okay.
I'm very close to
so you're in the
city.
district. Yeah.
But that's where I am in the district.
Great.
And you could edit, so.
Great. Yeah. So glad we got that. I think we've got all the information that we could muster. And what'll happen is that all the pictures that you mentioned, Betsy, we'll have those kind of coming in and out of the video. We'll figure out how we're going to post it. We may just use the picture that you and I had taken before we did this. So, and then we'll just like intersperse it with the pictures, but we're going to make sure that we get this out. Hopefully at the latest, probably by next week, Tuesday. The earliest by Sunday, probably. I just have to talk to Paul about making sure. And all of Betsy's information for the Kids Arts Festival here in Schenectady will be posted with this video. Everything will be there. And if you have questions, if you want to donate to Schenectady Kids Arts Festival, if you want to join her team, or if you want to volunteer, help out, or of course, send your artwork to our seniors, please contact her and click on all the information, and let's get this, let's do this, let's get it done, and let's make sure that those who cannot have visitors, our seniors, our aunts, our uncles, our mothers, our fathers, our grandfathers and grandmothers. And I know I used to do nursing, geriatric nursing, and I know there are some young people there too for different reasons in rehab. And they can't have visitors because they're vulnerable. So we want to make sure that they know that we know that they're there and we care, and we want to show them as much love as possible. So thank you everyone for taking a moment and watching this video. It is very important. Art is essential to life. It is as essential as love and breathing. So please donate whatever you can to this project. And you want any last words, Betsy, before I end the meeting?
No, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Bye-bye.